Top 12 reasons why the U.S. defense plan is unbeatable. What makes the U.S. defense system a force to be reckoned with? Is it the cutting-edge technology? The unbeatable manpower? Or something much more strategic that the rest of the world can't match? Get ready, because what you're about to hear will shock you. From missile defenses that could intercept the unthinkable to covert operations that rewrite the rules of warfare, this is why the U.S. defense plan is simply unbeatable. Stick around to discover the one reason at the end that not even our biggest enemies can prepare for. It's a game-changer in modern warfare. Hi friends. Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the hard-hitting facts and jaw-dropping truths behind the world's most pressing issues. If you love learning about cutting-edge technology, military power, and global strategies, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Now, let's dive into the top 12 reasons why the U.S. defense plan is simply unbeatable. For decades, the United States has been at the forefront of global military power, leading the way in both technological advancements and strategic defense. While many nations have strong militaries, none come close to the combined might of the U.S. defense system. But what exactly makes this plan so unbeatable? It's easy to assume that sheer size is the only factor, but that's just scratching the surface. The U.S. military doesn't just rely on the biggest budget or the largest arsenal. It operates with a layered approach that combines advanced technology, global partnerships, and strategic foresight to maintain an unparalleled edge over any potential adversary. One of the key strengths is the U.S.'s ability to stay ahead of the curve. While many countries are reactive, preparing for threats as they emerge, the U.S. military has a proactive approach. This means constantly analyzing potential threats, running simulations, and planning for conflicts that haven't even happened yet. This level of preparation gives the U.S. an almost psychic ability to foresee and neutralize challenges before they escalate into full-blown crises. Then there's the tech. The U.S. is home to Silicon Valley, the birthplace of technological revolutions that have transformed everything from smartphones to self-driving cars. But what many people don't know is that some of the biggest breakthroughs have been fueled by military research and development. Cyber defense, autonomous drones, and hypersonic missiles are just a few examples of how the U.S. military uses cutting-edge tech to create a defense system that's not just strong, but adaptive and future-proof. Critics of the U.S. defense plan often argue that spending alone can't make a country unbeatable. And they're right, money alone can't win wars. But it's how the U.S. allocates its resources that sets it apart. Massive investments in intelligence gathering, cyber defense, and special forces training ensure that the U.S. is not only defending against physical threats but also neutralizing covert operations and cyber attacks that other nations might not even detect until it's too late. Controversy often surrounds the sheer scope of U.S. military influence around the globe, with some arguing that its worldwide presence and constant involvement in international conflicts have made it more vulnerable to backlash. Yet, this very global presence is one of its greatest strengths. With bases in nearly every corner of the world, the U.S. can respond to threats faster than almost any other nation, ensuring that no conflict stays out of reach. In the realm of diplomacy, too, the U.S. defense plan is far from just about brute force. Strategic alliances with NATO, Japan, South Korea, and other global powers mean that the U.S. defense network isn't just its own, it's a collective, multinational effort. This gives the U.S. not only the power of its own military but also access to the combined strength of its allies. The controversial aspect? Many argue that this unmatched power has made the U.S. too reliant on military solutions for international problems, leading to long-standing tensions in regions like the Middle East. But this focus on military preparedness also ensures that the U.S. can navigate a complex global landscape, where power shifts quickly and unpredictably. Ultimately, the U.S. defense plan stands out because of its unique ability to merge technology, intelligence, and strategic alliances in a way that no other nation can replicate. It's not just about having the biggest guns, it's about knowing how to use them, where to place them, and when to hold back. The question is, will any other nation ever be able to challenge this level of dominance? Here are the 12 reasons why U.S. defenses is unbeatable. Reason 1. Superior intelligence networks. When it comes to gathering intelligence, the United States plays a game of chess while others play checkers. Agencies like the CIA, NSA, and military intelligence divisions operate in seamless coordination to collect data from satellites, intercept communications, and tap into a vast network of informants. The level of detail they can extract is astonishing, from monitoring terrorist movements to tracking the development of foreign weapons systems. This unparalleled intelligence capability allows the US to preempt threats before they materialize. Critics argue that such extensive surveillance blurs the line between defense and invasion of privacy, but this very reach is what has enabled the US to foil numerous attacks and stay ahead of its adversaries, both seen and unseen. Reason 2. Technological innovation. The US military isn't just fighting wars, it's shaping the future of warfare. From AI-driven drones capable of autonomous strikes to hypersonic missiles that can hit targets before enemies have time to react, American military technology is the envy of the world. But it's not just about offensive capabilities, defensive tech is just as impressive. Systems like the Aegis ballistic missile defense can track and destroy multiple targets simultaneously, making US forces nearly untouchable. This innovation isn't without controversy, as critics warn of an arms race in AI and autonomous warfare that could spiral out of control. Yet, these advancements are what make the US not just dominant today, but positioned for dominance in the future. Reason 3. Unmatched air superiority. With more advanced fighter jets, bombers, and surveillance planes than any other nation, the US Air Force reigns supreme in the skies. The F-22 Raptor, for example, is so technologically advanced that even allied nations haven't been allowed to purchase it. Capable of evading radar, dogfighting at supersonic speeds, and delivering precision strikes, it ensures air superiority in any conflict. Beyond just fighters, the US also boasts the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, a machine so advanced it can evade enemy radar and strike deep within hostile territory undetected. While some argue that drones will soon replace manned aircraft, the combination of both gives the US flexibility and dominance that no other nation can replicate. Reason 4. Global military presence. Imagine being able to respond to a crisis anywhere in the world within hours. That's the power of having over 800 military bases spread across the globe. Whether it's countering Russian aggression in Eastern Europe, containing North Korean threats in Asia, or conducting counterterrorism operations in Africa, the US has a foothold in every major region. This global presence isn't just about military might, it's a form of soft power, signaling to both allies and adversaries that the US is always watching, always ready. Of course, the idea of an American military base in nearly every corner of the planet sparks heated debates about imperialism, but this global network is also what allows the US to maintain its status as a superpower. Reason 5. Elite Special Forces. The mere mention of Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, or Delta Force sends chills down the spine of enemies worldwide. These elite units are trained for the most dangerous, high-stakes missions, whether it's eliminating high-value targets, rescuing hostages, or conducting sabotage deep behind enemy lines. Their training is brutal, and only a small percentage of candidates make it through. What makes these forces truly unbeatable is their adaptability. They can operate in any environment, desert, jungle, Arctic, or urban, and carry out missions with surgical precision. While some question the ethics of covert operations, particularly in politically unstable regions, these forces remain a critical part of America's defense plan. Reason 6. Strong alliances. No nation fights alone, and the US has mastered the art of strategic alliances. As a founding member of NATO, the US enjoys the security of a mutual defense pact that includes 29 other nations. This means that an attack on one member is considered an attack on all. Beyond NATO, the US has key allies like Japan, South Korea, and Israel, each of which plays a vital role in global security. Critics argue that these alliances can drag the US into conflicts it would rather avoid, but in reality, these partnerships allow the US to project power more effectively. Together, these alliances form a defense network that's almost impossible to penetrate. Reason 7. Cyber warfare dominance. In today's world, wars aren't just fought on land, sea, and air, they're fought in cyberspace. The US has invested heavily in cyber defense, but it's the offensive capabilities that truly set it apart. The US Cyber Command can launch devastating cyber attacks on enemy infrastructure, disabling power grids, disrupting communications, and even crippling entire economies without ever firing a shot. This ability to wage war from a computer is a controversial but undeniably powerful weapon in the US arsenal. As more nations develop their own cyber capabilities, the US remains several steps ahead, making it nearly impossible for adversaries to successfully attack without facing overwhelming digital retaliation. Reason 8. Massive military budget. With an annual defense budget that surpasses the next 10 countries combined, the US has the financial muscle to fund whatever it needs. This astronomical budget allows the US to maintain cutting-edge technology, a massive standing army, and a global military presence that no other nation can match. Critics argue that this level of spending is unsustainable and detracts from vital domestic needs, but the reality is that this funding ensures the US is never caught off guard. From research and development to weapons production, this budget guarantees that America can remain a step ahead of any potential adversary. Reason 9. Unparalleled Navy. The US Navy is the largest and most powerful in the world, with a fleet of aircraft carriers that allow it to project power across the globe. These carriers are essentially floating cities, each capable of launching hundreds of aircraft, making them the cornerstone of America's ability to control the seas. Add to that nuclear-powered submarines that can operate undetected for months and missile destroyers capable of launching precision strikes from afar, and you've got a naval force that's second to none. Some argue that modern warfare won't be decided on the oceans, but as long as global trade and shipping routes remain vital, naval dominance ensures economic and military leverage. Reason 10. Missile defense systems. With the ever-present threat of nuclear conflict, missile defense systems have become one of the US's most vital defense mechanisms. Systems like THAAD, Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, and Aegis Missile Defense provide a safety net against incoming ballistic missiles, whether from rogue states or major powers. These systems are designed to intercept and destroy missiles in their final stage, giving the US a critical advantage in any potential nuclear or missile conflict. Some critics believe that missile defense encourages a false sense of invincibility, but without it, the US would be far more vulnerable to long-range threats. Reason 11. Nuclear arsenal. The United States possesses one of the largest and most advanced nuclear arsenals in the world, and this is a key factor in its unbeatable defense plan. The nuclear triad, consisting of land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, and strategic bombers, ensures that the US can launch a nuclear counterattack from anywhere, even if a first strike disables one leg of the triad. While the existence of such an arsenal is a controversial topic, particularly for advocates of disarmament, it's this very deterrent that prevents large-scale nuclear war. The cost of attacking the US with nuclear weapons is simply too high. Reason 12. Strategic military planning. Perhaps the most overlooked reason behind the US defense system's strength is its unrivaled strategic planning. The Pentagon doesn't just react to threats, it anticipates them, often years in advance. With a vast network of think tanks, intelligence agencies, and military strategists, the US continuously studies geopolitical trends, technological advancements, and potential conflicts to refine its defense strategies. These experts run war games, simulations, and even plan for hypothetical scenarios that may never happen. While some argue that this level of planning borders on paranoia, it's this meticulous approach that keeps the US military one step ahead of its competitors. And there you have it, the top 12 reasons why the US defense plan is unbeatable. From unmatched intelligence networks to the world's most advanced weaponry, the United States stands as a global military superpower that's prepared for anything. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth looks at the world's most powerful forces. Comment below which reason surprised you the most, and we'll see you in the next one.